USTR sent this letter to all of our trading partners just to give them a friendly reminder that the deadline is coming up.
I'm starting every video like this. I'm going to ask you, please, if you appreciate what I do and if you understand the threat to independent media and to the country at large, please subscribe. I just found out that more than 60% of the people who view my videos over the course of the last 90 days aren't subscribed. So there's a massive portion of you out there who aren't subscribed. It's free. Just take a moment and subscribe if you would. I would appreciate it. And thank you very much. Let's talk about the White House press briefing yesterday. Karoline Leavitt. Really, it's one of the hardest jobs in politics is being a professional paid liar for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, not only is he a liar, he lies about different things and says different lies about the single topic from day to day. They get tossed under the bus constantly and have to gather their composure and their dignity and just acknowledge their shamelessness on an almost daily basis, these people. I'm not telling you I have a bunch of sympathy for her. I'm not crying crocodile tears or massive buckets of tears for Karoline Leavitt. She made her bed. She's going to lie in it. But as far as this tariff nonsense is concerned and the catapulting this country into an economic crisis that was unnecessary, unwarranted, nobody asked for it. There is no emergency. He's just doing it to create chaos and have people look at him, as Donald Trump often does. And remember early on after Liberation Day or whatever, they said there was going to be 90 deals in 90 days. All these countries are clamoring. They're rushing to the United States, to the White House, sending their representatives to negotiate a deal. Well, yesterday in the press briefing, that was kind of dashed after a question was asked about this U.S. trade representative having sent a letter to all these countries. So it's not 90 deals in 90 days. There's no deals. It's now us writing letters to foreign countries, begging them to come to the table. Please come and negotiate. You have to help Donald Trump save face. Amazing. I got two clips. Here's the first one, less than a minute.
Brian.
Thank you, Caroline. Reuters was reporting that there is a letter that is meant to be sent to other countries, which would give these countries a deadline of Wednesday to produce their best offer on the trade matter. Why does the administration feel the need to send this letter? And I have one more follow-up on trade.
Sure, I can confirm the merits in the content of the letter. USTR sent this letter to all of our trading partners just to give them a friendly reminder that the deadline is coming up. And they are in talks. Ambassador Greer, Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lutnick are in talks with many of our key trading partners around the globe. As you know, Brian, I know the Wall Street Journal has covered this quite heavily. And they continue to be engaged in those discussions. And this letter was simply to remind these countries that the deadline is approaching and the president expects good deals. And we are on track for that, I will emphasize.
Confirming the letter exists. This was reporting from Reuters, by the way, on, I believe, June 2nd. Here's that headline: exclusive, U.S. pushes countries for best offers by Wednesday. That's today, as tariff deadline looms. The Trump administration wants countries to provide their best offer on trade negotiations by Wednesday, as officials seek to accelerate talks with multiple partners ahead of a self-imposed deadline in just 5 weeks. According to a draft letter to negotiating partners seen by Reuters. The draft from the Office of the United States Trade Representative provides a window into how President Donald Trump plans to bring to a close unwieldy negotiations with dozens of countries that kicked off on April 9th when he paused his quote-unquote Liberation Day tariffs for 90 days until July 8th, after stock, bond, and currency markets revolted over the sweeping nature of the levies. I got one more paragraph, but before I do, I want to remind you that more than $1 trillion, maybe $3 trillion was lost in value from people's investments after this Liberation Day nonsense. We went from a booming stock market, record after record after record, to being decimated. You'll remember. The document suggests an urgency within the administration to complete deals against its own tight deadline, while officials such as White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett has repeatedly promised that several agreements were nearing completion. So far, only one agreement has been reached with a major U.S. trading partner, Britain, and even that limited impact was more akin to a framework for ongoing talks than a final deal, which is great. That paragraph is great because it tees me up for this next section of a clip where the reporter asks a follow-up, and the nonsense from Karoline Leavitt and the scrambling and pretzel twisting of her character and lies gets even more aggressive.
Trade side, though, when the deal with the United Kingdom, there was this idea of a reprieve on the auto tariffs. Is the president looking to do another similar deal on the sector-by-sector reduction in tariffs, or is this more going to be deals related to the reciprocal tariffs that were announced months ago?
Well, as I've said previously from the podium, and the president has discussed as well, each country has unique advantages, unique challenges to it based on their markets and what they export to us and what we export to them. And so that's why the president smartly advised his trade team to engage in tailor-made deal making. And we saw that with the United Kingdom, and we will see that with other countries as well.
This is what happens when you watch these things. You get a little delirious. And not only she says that Donald Trump smartly did this, he smartly did that. And that got stuck in her head. And about 30 seconds later, in response to another question, she said the smartly thing again. What a job. Watch this and please think it's as funny as me.
And so that's why the president smartly advised his trade team to engage in tailor-made deal making. And we saw that with the United Kingdom, and we will see that with other countries as well.
Kate, does the president support the Senate moving forward with a bill imposing heavy sanctions on Russia?
Look, the president has spoken about his position on sanctions on Russia. He has smartly kept this as a tool in his toolbox if necessary.
Look, I'm poking fun a little bit. I do this a lot. When you talk for a living, I think it's an easy thing to do. But it's still, I'm not going to not mock it. I'm not going to not make fun of Karoline Leavitt. He's smartly doing this. He's smartly deciding this. They all have to praise Donald Trump, and she just got smartly stuck in her head. It's always the most outrageous claim that seems like a simple one. Donald Trump doing anything smartly isn't happening. Anyway, what do you think about this? The 90 days and 90 deals, and now we're finding out there's been one deal in 90 days with Britain, and they're begging countries to come to the table. Ugh. We are a laughing stock on a global stage, unlike maybe anything we've ever experienced, the United States. Anyway, what do you think? You can comment below. You can make sure you're subscribed again. Please do that. That would be fantastic. I would appreciate the support very much. It's free. Call me. Let me know what you think. 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I will see you next time. Maybe you can follow me on social media. If you're looking for me on social media, I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Don't be Karoline Leavitt. Take care of one another.